Bookshelves bring in an old-world charm to any indoor space. They breathe life and personality into it as they showcase books that are quite telling about your reading preferences. Bookcases also come in a dizzying variety of designs and styles. Bookcase designs. Picking out a design for the bookcase that you want to buy is the first major decision you'll be making. Rectangular bookcase. Share. A rectangular bookcase is somewhat traditional and is commonly seen in most homes all over the world. They're manufactured widely so they can come in really affordable prices, and they also come in a lot of different sizes and designs, and even colors and finishes. Before buying a ready-made rectangular bookcase, it's important for you to check out what the actual measurement is of the space. Cube. Share. A cube design offers a symmetrical, almost geometric approach to the bookcase design. As the name implies, it usually involves a series of cubes or spaces that are cube-like, allowing you to place your books in them. Cubes are typically equal-sided in measurements, but there will be instances wherein they can come in rectangular frames. Modular. Share. Modular bookcases are both functional and versatile. They can come in sets of 2 or 3 or so much more, depending on the amount of storage space you actually need. These types of bookcases are great because they're built to meld with whatever design you might decide to bring to the space. You can mix and match depending on your preferred function or amount of space needed. Corner. If you're a bit lacking for space and you don't really have a lot of elbow room to work with, a corner bookcase is something that can really work for you. On top of its contemporary design, it's a bookcase design that also has a bit more structural integrity compared to the others. Corners aren't typically areas that get a lot of attention, and making use out of the space maximizes it. It's both a shelf and a decorative piece that can complement any design preferences you may have. Read more about how to decorate a corner in a living room for more ideas. Leaning. Leaning bookcases can be considered as specialized designs, and they're unique because they're kind of dependent on the wall that they're being leaned on. The frames of a leaning bookcase showcases a somewhat tilted look while the shelves stay in place in a horizontal angle. Ladder. If you're working with a space that's a little more challenging with its square footage, then you should look no more and opt for a ladder bookcase right away. They're like a simplistic adaptation of the leaning bookcase. The basic elements are pretty much the same, only that a ladder bookcase. Although it also leans on the wall, a ladder bookcase is different from a leaning bookcase because it directly looks like a ladder with modified steps that have been replaced with shelves. Barrister. Barrister bookcases were named, interestingly, after lawyers. This type of bookcase was originally built with lawyers and their functions in mind. Lawyers usually have huge collections of law books, and there are instances wherein they need to move these massive collections. Tree style. Having a tree-style bookcase is kind of like mimicking nature indoors, with the added benefit of extra storage space for your books and other items that you might want to put on display. It's a more artistic spin on a geometric bookcase, with its defining point being that the shelves are depicted as branches in different shades and sizes. Tree-style bookcases look somewhat surreal and out of this world, and if you want to go for a dreamy, fantasy-like aspect to your indoor space, you can definitely get it done with a well-chosen tree-style bookcase in tow. Book tree. A book tree bookcase is very similar to a tree-style bookcase design, but the only difference is that it's more symmetrical. If a tree-style bookcase is built to look and feel like a real tree with the branches being used as shelves, a book tree design is more shelf-like in a way wherein all its arms which are used as shelves are all the same size. Bookworm. Out of all of the bookcase designs available, a bookworm bookcase would have to take the cake for being the most fluid and flexible one compared to all of them. This bookcase is a perfect combination of artistry and industrialization. What's really amazing about this design is that it can be changed and formed into a shape, whatever shape that you might fancy at the moment. It has the flexibility and strength required to take an up to 10 kg load per support, so you can really tack on a lot of books and other decorative items there. Geometric. Share. If your design preference is more on something artistic and unusual but also with a sense of class and culture, you really can't go wrong with a geometric bookcase. Its shelving options come in varying heights and widths, so it makes it easy for you to store books in different sizes as well. Bookcase with drawers. Share. If you like all of the aesthetics that a bookcase brings in but you also like to have a little bit of concealed storage space, then a bookcase with drawers is a solution that fixes that. It's a great place to stuff random clutter into if you have to fix up your space in a moment's notice. But on top of the usual uses such as for books and items to display, it's also a great way to organize files that you don't necessarily want to expose out in the open. Adjustable bookcase. Share. Adjustable bookcases are very similar to the rectangular bookshelves, but the only difference is that the shelves can be adjusted in varying heights. It's great for when you have books that vary greatly in height or for when you want to have plaques, trophies, and other things on there that might require a considerable amount of height compared to your typical bookcase. How to choose a bookcase. There are a lot of elements you need to consider when you're in the process of choosing a bookcase for any room in your home or office at any point in time. Size. You need to measure out the floor space as well as the height that you're looking for in a bookcase. This will help you narrow your options down when you're drowning in so many options. Design. The next thing you need to consider is how well it will fit in with the rest of the other design elements in your space. The last thing you would want to have is a bookcase that sticks out like a sore thumb. You would want to go with a design that complements the rest of your space, not contradict it. Share. Style. You also need to consider the style that you're going for. This ties in with your decor along with the type of vibe that you would actually like to achieve for your bookcase. Price. And of course, last but not the least, what you need to take into consideration is whether you can afford the bookcase that you're considering or not. Budget can weed out a lot of options for you, and it's important to go for something that gives you most, if not all of the things you need, without ever burning too big of a hole in your pockets. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.